Hey everybody, welcome back to Backlog Banter. I'm your boy Abram, joined as usual by Tucker Hazel, and today we are here to do something kind of a little bit quirky, a little bit weird, a little bit wacky. Today we're talking about Nintendo's E3, but we're going all out. These are our dream
Whole hog.
whole hog. These are our dream announcements, not necessarily predictions. If you want to see those, hopefully the predictions video went up already, so you can check that
Mhm.
out before you start this one. But before we start the video proper, if you want to talk to us about Nintendo's E3 or really anything at all, link to our Discord, top of the description while you're down there, hunting and pecking around. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, put all the notifications on. We're all know.
Mhm.
But Tucker, I tried to rein myself in on our E3 predictions video, and while I had 10 predictions, I don't expect all 10 of them to come true. I tried to confine those to what seemed in the realm of reason for Nintendo to
Yeah.
announce. Now,
Mhm.
even here today, I'm not going to go completely nuts, but
Okay.
I want to talk about games that could happen but aren't going to, but I want them to. If those
Sure.
contradictions align in something that makes sense to your beautiful mind.
I would say it most certainly does. One of the things that we talked about at the end of our E3 predictions is that one factor that we don't even put into consideration when we're writing down our predictions is Nintendo's fucking weird, man. And they'll
Yeah.
announce whatever they want. They'll come up with ideas for games no one actually wants, but they might actually be pretty cool. And I think if we lean a little more into that side
Yeah.
of just the weirder side of Nintendo, these are unrealistic expect or hopes, but they're sure as hell fun to make. And I think that's why we have to start off with what, of course, is my dream prediction, a sequel to the 2017 classic ARMS, which this
Okay.
game, we made a whole video about what the future of ARMS could be, why an ARMS 2 needs to happen to capitalize in the title.
Of course.
And I think that it's not completely unreasonable for this game to get a sequel, which is why it's not entirely out of that realm of possibility. I'm not just pulling things out of my ass completely. If you look back at Nintendo Switch game sales, at franchise game sales, the ARMS series franchise has already sold more units than many games that
Yeah.
have multiple sequels. It sold better than every Xenoblade game. It sold just as well or better than most Fire Emblem games. It's on par with a lot of those franchises, Pikmin. So continuing this series, sales wise, is not unreasonable for
Yeah.
Nintendo.
No, I totally agree. I think it would actually be close, if not already outsold the entirety of the Pikmin series. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think prior to 3 Deluxe it probably had.
Yeah.
And if that game had I really think if ARMS had released in fall 2018, not only with a bigger Switch install base, but with all of the content it got eventually, the game
Mm-hmm.
would be huge and we would be getting a sequel.
Yeah.
So I hope that Nintendo recognizes that because as much as I have a lot of issues with ARMS, I think that's such a strong foundation to build upon. So
Yeah. And especially considering we're still waiting for those next Nintendo new IPs to
yeah,
happen. I mean, we've gotten piddling ones that aren't necessarily on the level of an ARMS or a Splatoon. You know, you got your Ring Fits, you got your Labos, but character-driven IPs from Nintendo are obviously the most exciting. And I would enjoy this becoming one of their staple ones, like
yeah.
Splatoon has since it started not too long ago.
Tucker, I want to talk to you about a game that might be a corporate psyop to weed out leakers.
Oh yeah, it's Star Fox Grand Prix.
Yes. I don't think that I've ever been more excited for a game that might have been an elaborate corporate hoax.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true or not, we don't really know. I remember Jeff Grubb reported that and then deleted his reporting.
Hmm.
So who really knows? I mean, I don't think that the people at Retro Studios were just like locked in a room, like playing racquetball between the release of Tropical Freeze and starting work on Metroid Prime 4. I
Hmm.
like to imagine they were actually working on Star Fox Grand Prix. I think that that would be a stunningly amazing video game for my taste in particular, as an
Yeah.
enormous Star Fox fan, as the audience knows, and an enormous Mario Kart fan, which I don't talk about quite as much. Stick them together with Retro's polish, their talent. God fucking damn it! I hope that this game is still real and existing somewhere on a hard drive.
I think the game is likely existent. I think the fact that we heard rumors about it such a long time ago
People
and
said they
have
played
since
it.
really
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
That's the other thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as someone who is a fresh-faced baby boy to the Star Fox series, I think seeing that series, given the polish of Retro Studios, and the push of modern Nintendo,
Yeah.
and the power of a console that has ease of access to multiplayer and significantly more power than the previous games consoles had been on, I would be very excited for that. And I think there's a lot of potential for it to restart, give a kickstart to the Star Fox series, because it has been so long since a new Mario Kart game. And of course, one of our predictions, spoiler alert, I guess, for a fucking prediction video, one of your predictions was that we get a Mario Kart 9 at the end of this year. But if that is instead replaced by Star Fox Grand Prix, that the people waiting for a new Nintendo racing game have been waiting since, when the fuck did Mario Kart 8 come out? 2015?
2014.
14? Good
April
Lord, it's been a long
2014.
time. It's been a long time. So that would be really exciting, yeah. Now, I've got an entirely unrealistic
Then go
prediction
for
here,
it.
but I think it'd be really funny to say it. All right, guys, hear me out. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were a hoax. They were a joke, and they're fake, and they're re-announced with better visuals, and it actually looks cool. It's got new ideas. It expands on the formula in interesting ways. It takes advantage of the hardware it's on. It takes advantage of the locations and characters of the Sinnoh region, and it's great, and I can't wait to see them canceled and re-announced as something actually exciting.
What it like Ilka Incorporated is like a show. They like funnel money for illegal outfits, and they get rated by the DEA. So Game Freak has to redo it in house, and it's like
Yeah,
in the Sword
and
and
it's
Shield
better.
engine, and
Yeah.
it's like following Pokemon. The camera's down behind you, and you're fucking walking through the tall snow, and Obama's snow is like fucking pitter pattering around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let me.
And I guess we're kind of in the minority of our real disdain for these
Yeah.
remakes. And I'm happy people are excited for them. But guys, ask for a little more out of Game Freak. This is less than the bare minimum.
Well, this is real. This is out of Game Freak, and I think
No,
that's
exactly.
the problem.
Yeah.
Put it back in Game Freak. Don't think
It's
about
true.
it.
We all complain about Game Freak not necessarily taking steps forward. We want them to. But at least they take more steps forward than fucking Ilka Incorporated, who developed Pokemon Home and Mario Kart Home Invasion.
No, that's Velen Studios who made Knockout.
Oh, they made Knockout City. Yeah,
Knockout
my
City.
bad. I'm getting all these weird up and coming generic ass studios. I can't keep them straight.
Let me give you a more realistic, not going to happen Pokemon prediction.
Okay.
Brilliant, not Brilliant Arceus. Legends Arceus gets delayed until November 2021. 2022,
Okay.
sorry.
That's slightly less unrealistic.
That's slightly less unrealistic. It's not going
But
to
considering
happen.
the pressure on Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, it's not going to fucking happen.
It's not going to happen, but I
Has
think
a Pokemon game ever been delayed? As far as I know, no.
I'd be telling tales out of school. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I don't care what fucking Rami Ismail is going to come on Twitter and say that optimization happens in the last 6 months of development. I don't care. This is a very important game. And the Pokemon Company has so much god fucking money.
Yeah,
that
they do.
Give them the time they need, not only to make it run at an acceptable frame rate, but be the game people have wanted since the series' inception.
Yep.
And okay, maybe it will release in January, and the frame rate will be better, and the texture work will be better. But I don't want the texture work to be better and the frame rate to be better. I want the game to be great. And I want the talent at Game Freak, which has persisted for so long, to be able to flex their creative muscles in a package that feels complete and doesn't leave me thinking, like with the Wild area, they were close, but they weren't given the time they needed.
Yeah.
Just kick the game back. That's all I'm asking. Kick it back a little bit.
Because if you remember back to ye old days of 2019, most of the complaints with Sword and Shield were this game just didn't have enough time in the oven. It was
just rushed.
Pushed out a year early, or early at least, because Pokemon Company has this arbitrary thing where a new mainline game comes out every year, except for they had DLC to replace that 1 year or whatever. And this game is looking to be even more ambitious than Sword and Shield were, which makes that a little worrisome. seeing how close it's coming out to the release of another game. Of course, they're not working on BDSP, as we so lovingly refer to it as. But I want this game to be good. I want it to be great.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of it, which is why I'm probably slightly more optimistic than you that the game will actually be ambitious and exciting when it comes out. There have been, of course, rumors behind it that the gameplay chat style has changed up.
Yeah.
We've not seen almost anything that you do in the game other than the fact that it exists and this is the basic gameplay format of it. But even then, not really. So I think there's stuff that they could show that shows off the polish that they've been able to put on it, but also the ambition that we might not
Sure.
see quite yet from that original trailer.
And we'll see, but it just makes me nervous when you go on YouTube and there's a ton of Legends Arceus ads that have just like the music dubbed over them, and it's the same footage we saw at the beginning of
Yep.
the year.
True.
And the release date is out, and there was no new trailer. It just, I want the game to be great.
Yeah.
And I think it could be. I have confidence that Game Freak is going to at least release a product that I enjoy.
Mhm.
Whether I could enjoy it more is yet to be seen. Tucker, what's your next dream prediction?
Let's talk about a game that has been announced to be worked on many, many, many moons ago, many eras ago. Pikmin 4
Okay.
exists more than likely. It's a fucking enigma. But considering the success of Pikmin 3 Deluxe, I'm just kind of using this as a platform to talk about things we want from Nintendo in the future, because we already have so much that is reasonable from the show at E3. If this doesn't get shown off at E3, that's fine. But I think Pikmin 4 should come out. Like, I don't know if it's a hot take, but I want to see the game. I want to see what the series evolves to, or even if it doesn't, just a continuation of that, because that gameplay format is so good.
Yeah.
I think, easy local co-op with split Joy-Con would be awesome. Show me the game. Miyamoto said it was like
he said it was almost done
in
in
development
2015.
or almost done. Yeah.
Yeah.
An insanely long time ago. So just give me Pikmin 4. I'm not even a Pikmin fan, and I want Pikmin 4.
My hypothesis is that the game was probably almost done on Wii U for real, and then it probably got shelved because the series was flagging, and then reworked for Switch, and then maybe held in some capacity.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that between the relative sales success of 3 Deluxe and the Niantic game, which allegedly exists, that there is again a reasonable market to release Pikmin 4 into.
Yep. For the first time in a while.
We'll see. I would be surprised, especially with Miyamoto's cachet at the company, that he can't railroad one more Pikmin game through, at least. I mean, that's his baby. So we'll see. I want that to happen. I really, really enjoy Pikmin, so we'll see. 2D Zelda from Grezzo. New game.
Oh, man. It's the 35th anniversary, guys. All you have so far is Skyward Sword and probably a trailer for Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Give us that new game. Give us that 2D Zelda game.
So I don't think it's going to happen because I just did Miitopia. And
Grezzo did. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Which was a drain on their resources. So it's possible that the 2D Zelda team could do it instead. I just want a brand new 2D Zelda. Part of me likes the idea of it being 2-player co-op, but part of me just wants a traditional new top-down 2D Zelda that isn't drawing upon what we've done before. Just something brand new, fresh, original. I think that'd be really excellent.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as you can look back at those Zelda reviews that we've done, the ones that we have probably planned for Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild 2 and all of that going into the future, as someone who's just getting to the Zelda franchise and has played more 2D Zelda than 3D Zelda, 2D works better for me.
Sure.
And I find that gameplay format to be more exciting. It's not as ambitious, but I think that it's still a series that needs to continue.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten a brand new one if you discount Link Between Worlds, because even then that was based on another game. I don't even know. What was before that?
It was Spirit Tracks, and I think 2010 is when Spirit Tracks came out.
Okay.
Might have been
now
2011.
From the little I know about Spirit Tracks, do people consider that a mainline 2D Zelda? I thought that was like a spin-off sort of thing.
No, that's definitely considered a mainline game. If it's considered beloved is really the question.
Sure.
There's a real split opinion on those DS Zelda games. I haven't played them in so long that I don't really want to comment, but I loved them when I was younger.
Mhm.
So, but I also grew up with them, so that's informing my opinion.
Mhm. I don't necessarily have anything else that's crazy, unrealistic predictions to apply here. I don't know how many you have left.
I
We
got
didn't
a
really plan
couple.
this video.
I got a
You've got a couple. Okay. Hit me with them. Hit me with them.
Cadence of Hyrule should have started a trend and it didn't,
Mhm.
but let's make it happen. Take Shinin Multimedia, take F-Zero, and stick them together. Clearly, Nintendo does not have the confidence, for whatever reason, to in-house make a new F-Zero game.
Mhm.
Shinin Multimedia has basically been making F-Zero games for them in the Fast Racing series
Yep.
since the Wii era. Just give them the IP. They have the talent to do the franchise justice. Fast RMX was gorgeous, and that was a Switch launch game, so imagine
Yeah.
if they could do the hardware now. They've been working on something after The Tourist. Apparently that game was pretty good. I never played it. But let it be F-Zero. Give them fucking F-Zero. I think that is a smart strategic partnership to service what the fans want on a smaller budget and kind of raise up that team a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Make that happen. Go back into the vault, Tucker, and just fucking pull out Mother 3.
Mm-hmm.
Give it the translation.
Yeah.
Put it in a collection with Earthbound Beginnings and Earthbound. Put it on Switch for $60. Put whatever into the package you have to make it worth that. Give us a little statue of Ness. Give us a little art book, whatever. Give us a proper boxed Mother collection. I think that you release that in the right quantity at the right price point, it would at least be a nice olive branch to fans.
I look, when we talk about unrealistic Nintendo predictions, there's one, and it's Mother 3. And I honestly wasn't even going to bring it up because, like, oh, that just sounds like a joke. But I think your recontextualization of it as a celebration of the history of that long forgotten series, but not forgotten by the fans, would be very exciting. You tried Earthbound earlier this year, if I remember correctly.
I tried it and I enjoyed it, but I was playing on 3DS and it wasn't the right way to play, and I got busy with school. So I want to restart it on my SNES Classic, but I also want to wait until like E3 and see if they put it on NSO. But I think that ship is long sailed.
Yeah, and that's the one that is missing. Well, one of the ones that is missing from SNES Online. Yes. But I would be very excited for that. I think that just the idea of them extending that olive branch, as you said, and Reggie finally being able to rest from the questions of where the hell is Mother 3. Yeah. Nintendo has had a couple relatively down years recently in terms of fan excitement and investment. Yeah. And of course, this E3, as we talked about in our predictions, is looking to be very exciting. We are all very excited for it. But that would be the real olive branch and we still kind of care about you guys. We're going to give you this, forget about you for 10 years, and then we'll give you another one. But I would love a Mother collection.
You know what I would love, Tucker?
Also, hold on. I just want to mention, I think you tweeted a joke the other day that you were going to start calling Mother 3 Earthbound 2 just to fuck with people.
Yeah. I forgot to do it. Yeah, I did tweet that. I thought that was pretty funny, but I forgot to do it today. I'd like Kid Icarus to come back. And here's where here's where it gets kind of sticky, Tucker.
How sticky is that, Wicket? Tell me.
I want it to be a new Uprising game.
Okay.
People keep saying port Uprising, fix Uprising's controls, whatever. And while I think that that's necessary, I have tried to play Kid Icarus Uprising so many times, but I think the controls are just a huge barrier.
No, yeah, I agree. And I'm in the exact same boat. I probably played only 4 or 5 hours of it maximum.
I have probably played 4 or 5 hours 4 or 5 times trying to get into it. It's such a shame because that game is so fucking great. But I'd like that franchise to get another shot because it is in a lot of ways a modern rail shooter that has. It's almost like a modern Star Fox Assault. You got your missions up in the sky, you got your missions down on foot. And a lot like Star Fox Assault, the missions on foot are a lot worse than the missions in the sky. But I think like Star Fox Assault, you give those ideas a second chance, you can make a really great game.
Yeah.
But Tucker, that kind of segues into what I would really like, because what would be more reasonable is just a new Sakurai game, period.
Sure.
Because as great as Uprising would be, a sequel to Uprising, Sakurai said that's unlikely, and I doubt that it's going to be given to another team. I would like Sakurai to take a break from Smash Brothers, one last big cool Kirby Air Ride, Kid Icarus type revival. Don't know what franchise it would be. I want Sakurai to just come out, do something awesome, make it his swan song, and step away from the industry. I think that'd be really, really a great synergistic move.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. And I think the idea of it not necessarily being a continuation of something he's already worked on, but allowing him to step out of the coffin that is Smash Brothers and stretch his creative muscles and apply that to another franchise. Or, I mean, the real dream would be a new Sakurai IP with that Nintendo push behind it. Would be the ideal way for him to really swan song his life, because he's already swan songing the industry right now with Smash Brothers Ultimate, and in having that final epilogue of a cool new IP, and at least in my hopes, game, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So Tucker, I have 3 more I want to mention.
Holy Christ, you're a busy man.
So the first one, I just want to dovetail on exactly what you just said. I want a new IP for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want it to be a fucking Pocket Card Jockey or a Good Job or fucking dig up some random developer to do the stretchers for you. Yeah. I want the next big attempt after Splatoon, after ARMS. Nintendo's president recently put out a statement saying, like, yeah, we want to invest in more new IP. So invest in more new IP.
Actually fucking follow through.
I don't care what it is. I just want it to be a big new IP. I think that would be so exciting. Monolith is apparently working on something new.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be Monolith because it's going to be another dumb fucking RPG I don't want to play. Sorry. I will try Xenoblade Chronicles 2 again because I bought that for $63 after tax and I kind of feel bad about it.
Yeah.
But Monolith makes great games. I'm not shitting on Monolith. But I would like a new first-party, wacky, colorful Nintendo IP.
Nintendo game, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we talk about the hype of those A-tier franchises, your Smash Brothers, Pokemon, your Zelda, your Mario, your Mario Kart. What we're really still always hoping for is another one of those to exist, another franchise to be introduced, loved by all, and expanded to become that next big thing. And of course, Splatoon is on its way. And I think very, very soon, with a third game in the series, will be one of those A-tier franchises. But at this point, unfortunately, it's kind of old news. The games are relatively samey compared to what Nintendo does with refreshing its IPs in different contexts. Splatoon doesn't quite have that flexibility yet. I think it will once it continues to grow. But I really do want there to be another set of characters, another new world, another new gameplay mechanic, like they did with Splatoon, like they did with ARMS, like they did with Pikmin, and just give it to it. Give it to me.
Yeah. Grabby hands. I think that'd be great. By the way, I want to push back on one thing. I think Splatoon is already an S-tier Nintendo franchise.
Okay.
Especially in Japan. Splatoon is fucking enormous in Japan.
And now I would consider it A-tier because I don't think it's even comparable to your Mario, your Zelda, your Pokemon, your Smash, your Mario Kart.
See, I disagree completely. And the reason I disagree is because if you go to Nintendo Tokyo, their big flagship store has 4 mascots on the banner. They're all walking in a line. It goes Mario, Link, Isabelle, Inkling. The game has such an incredible cultural resonance, particularly in Japan, that on that alone, I think the franchise is huge. And then you got to look at the fact that it's sold 10 million. It's still almost 12 million copies.
Sure.
There are very few franchises that can do that, even within Nintendo's stable. And that's after the second game. I really think that Splatoon is as good as it gets. That's the cream of the crop. Sales-wise, fan resonance, creativity. I think it's the trifecta. I really think Splatoon is enormous, and it's going to get only bigger.
Okay.
2 more for you.
Okay.
First one, you're gonna have to hit me on the head with a stick for, because this is just too niche.
I have a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Is that close enough?
That'll do. I would like Captain Rainbow to be localized. I really want Captain Rainbow to be localized. It's not.
This is the unrealistic video. This is where you get to spin your yarns and say whatever the hell comes out of your stupid little brain. But
it's not gonna happen. Chris Pranger infamously got fired from Nintendo Treehouse for going on a podcast and saying it was never going to happen.
Huh.
Um,
Well, doesn't that mean it could happen?
mm, I don't know. But well, he was also just that's a story for another time. Skip got really done dirty, especially with Chibi Robo Ziplash, which I don't even think they made. I think that was Arzest or somebody. Just give me Captain Rainbow. Localize it. I know there's fan translations, but I don't know how to. If someone in the comments section wants to tell me how to apply the fan translation to a legitimate disc of Captain Rainbow, then I'll recuse my hope and just do that myself.
Have you tried looking it up? Have you tried researching the process?
No.
Well, that might help you learn a little bit.
Tucker, my last dream hope is not for me.
Who is it for?
This is for my lovely girlfriend, Jean.
Okay.
I love her to death. And you know what she loves to death? Probably more than me,
Captain
Tucker.
Toad.
It's Captain Toad.
Yep.
She loves Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I think Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is a pretty solid 3D action puzzler. I think it's pretty good. I notoriously gave it a 6.5 out of 10 at Gaming Trend. I think it's pretty good.
That's pretty low.
Yeah, I said it's an okay game, and I think it's an okay game. But I think that there is so much room. By the way, in hindsight, I'd give it a 7.5 instead of 6.5.
Okay.
But I think that there's so much room to grow Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. So just do it. What's the hang up? You know what I'm saying?
What's the hubbub?
People really love Captain Toad, and I think that could be another key Nintendo spin-off Mario IP. So we'll see.
Yeah. I do think an expansion of that quote unquote franchise would be exciting. I have an ancient list on my notes on my phone that is games I expect to be on Switch.
Yeah.
And two of them never happened. Never, nothing, no mum, no words, nothing. That didn't make any sense. But sequel to Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and a sequel to Pokken Tournament. I think both of those are, if you think about how franchises work, it's insane that neither of them have gotten sequels at this point because they are both cool ideas that sold well and could have expansions very easily. They're great foundations for more titles. And I would love to see a sequel to Treasure Tracker. But actually, I want to end this with one final hope, which is Nintendo, give us more first-party eShop size games, $20, $30 games.
Point.
Bring back, and of course, this is for you and me. Bring back Kuro. Give us a $30 eShop version of that game. Give us a small Chibi Robo adventure, maybe. Bring back something like your Pushmos. Bring that back. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of IP that have those fun Nintendo characters and IP and concepts and gameplay ideas that we were just talking about in a new IP, but they've just done one or two small titles for. And I think the lack of focus on those D-tier eShop style Nintendo franchises on the Switch means that if one comes out and is given that push, it could actually be very exciting and connect with a lot of people. I think the fact that so many of them were coming out in the 3DS era that they kind of got muddled together and most people didn't realize that they were as interesting and cool as they really are. But bringing these franchises out on a much more popular console with a bigger push from Nintendo. Come on, man. Come on. Give these the light of day they deserve.
I think people forget how rich 3DS and to an extent Wii U were with these titles. Your Pushmos, your Box Boys, your Dylans. Wasn't really a game, but I spent a lot of money on Badge Arcade on 3DS, which is really fun.
It's really sad is what that is.
Give us some more eShop IP. Sushi Striker should have been one, for instance, and wasn't.
That's really the only pushed Nintendo example.
I mean, they did a Box Boy and Box Girl, and they published Stretchers, and they published Good Job, and they published Part-Time UFO. But that's a mobile game.
Yeah,
they did it, but not to the same extent. It's not the same. No NES remixes. Where are those? Where there was so much life in those eShops.
And you know what I think we should see?
What?
I think it's long past due. One of the crowning jewels of the Switch's launch library, Snipperclips, needs a sequel. Where's another Snipperclips game? I think that game is creative, unique enough, and has the connection of being one of the launch titles of Nintendo Switch to be an eShop style franchise for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think they published it.
Yeah, I believe they did.
And that is the example that I'm looking for. Fun characters, unique gameplay concept. It's essentially eShop exclusive. I know it got a physical release later on, but snipper clips. Bring back snipper clips. It's been a long time, especially for a game of that scale.
I agree.
He's
And
tapping his lips. That
I've got one more I almost forgot to bring up. Then I'm done. I promise.
Okay,
Or
yeah,
you'll
I'm
have to
done
stop
too.
the video before I start saying more because I'll come up with more on the spot. Tomodachi Life sequel. That's all I need to say. One of my top 10 favorite games of all time. Give me a Tomodachi Life sequel. That's it. I don't know.
I can't stop the video, by the way. You're recording it.
Oh, crow. Holy crow. That's what I meant to say. Not just any regular crow.
A holy one.
This one's a minister.